Google's various products, including search, advertising technology, software, and cloud computing, have become a part of daily life. However, good and evil are the sides of the same coin. In today's video, we're looking at the 10 things Google does not want you to know. Number 10. They do whatever they want with your company's data. Google's income data, new office sites, partnerships, and technological advancements are always breaking news. However, in recent years, tax evasion, the misuse of search results, and unfair market domination have all been brought to light. In 2012, it was claimed that Google employees acquired sales leads from a secure database owned by a Kenyan firm named Locality, to which they were not supposed to have access to. They then tapped the phones of competitors and utilized the acquired information to make proposals to their clients. Google apologized and fired the employees implicated once the controversy surfaced. One more example was that when its workers once used ad software to hack into Apple's Safari program and then blamed Apple for not blocking them from doing so. Google threatened to disclose the defective code if Apple didn't repair it immediately, citing Apple's weak security as a threat to the industry. Naturally, this did not go down well, and Google was forced to pay a symbolic $5.5 million in legal expenses to privacy groups, but not to the consumers whose privacy had been violated. They don't appear to be significant. Number 9. It knows a lot more than you think. Google knows what you look up on the internet, where you travel, what's on your calendar, who you photograph, who you contact, which advertising you click on, and what you buy. Google tracks everything you do within their reach. There's no doubt that most of us would feel differently about whether it's really worth it if we knew how much of our personal information was being taken and retained. Targeted advertising accounts for a large portion of Google's 90% revenue from search. The more personal information Google has about you, the better, in Google's opinion. Number 8. Google's driverless car project is already changing government policy. Google launched the self-driving car project in 2009 with the goal of driving efficiently over 10 consecutive 100-mile routes. Waymo, an autonomous driving technology company, was acquired by Alphabet in 2016, and Google's self-driving project was renamed Waymo. Google's goal is to create a market and industry for self-driving cars. Documents made public reveal Google's cozy relationship with the policymakers who will set the rules for the self-driving car industry. Essentially, Google, the world's leading self-driving car manufacturer, will aid in determining the extent to which the government controls the self-driving car industry. Businesses who do not adapt quickly enough to future improvements in self-driving car technology will face issues. Automakers, suppliers, dealers, and many other car-related businesses are expected to lose hundreds of billions of dollars, according to futurists. Consider the revenue lost by the governments as a result of licensing fees, taxes, and tolls, as well as personal injury lawyers and health insurance. Number 7. Google reads all of your texts. As a result of the shift in search from desktop to mobile, Google released an algorithm in April 2015 that favored companies with mobile-friendly websites. As more people use their phones to purchase, make searches, and so on, the importance of applications in terms of information has increased. Google has realized that in order to keep relevance when you reach for your phones, they now need to search inside your apps. Director of Conversational Search Bishad Bazadi recently demonstrated Google Now on tap at SMX Paris 2015. The technology allows apps to react on what's on the screen. In Bazadi's case, he was chatting with a friend about the movie Tomorrowland, and the apps were able to interpret his conversation and display the most relevant information. You could argue that it's a very useful tool, and many people would agree, but it raises the questions of whether apps may be uninstalled. Where does the data from your conversations go? How long do you think it will be before they start picking up on terms in conversations? Number 6. What you pay for isn't always what you get. Another questionable method by which Google gets revenue is through pay-per-click advertising. The Google Search Network is used by over 1.2 million businesses globally. Many people who are new to AdWords believe that all they need is a high bid in order to succeed, and Google's quality score information is publicly available and lists a variety of characteristics that influence whether or not you receive visitors. For Google, the most crucial of these is the click-through rate. Ads that are clicked more often are considered more popular by Google, resulting in more money in Google's pockets. As a result, those advertisements are pushed to the top. This is especially tough for small businesses trying to break into a new market. People are more likely to click on firms they recognize, and smaller businesses find it difficult to compete with them when their title and description lengths are limited. Number 5. Google Earth and Street View are way more questionable than you think. Finally, we have access to the entire world's geography. We can explore all of modern human civilization's gorgeous cities, amazing views, and eerie dark alleys from the comfort of our PCs and tablets, thanks to Google Street View and Google Earth. These services give individuals with travel-related physical limitations the freedom to explore our planet at their leisure, a freedom they might not otherwise have. Street View is racking up fines for allegedly gathering account names and passwords from our private Wi-Fi data when it isn't disclosing the blueprints of top-secret military locations or showing off what your own home address looks like to potential buyers or robbers. According to a suit, those Google cars aren't just motorized peepers and GPS data collectors, but also data mining mobiles that breach firewalls. Number 4. Google appreciates internet freedom but doesn't stand by its principles. To grasp Google's complicated relationship with net neutrality, we must first understand the series of tubes mean. It began in 2006 when then-Senator Ted Stevens referred to the internet as not a giant truck, but rather a collection of tubes. It was an unexpected moment of transparency and a wake-up call for proponents of net neutrality, the idea that internet service providers shouldn't be able to tamper with site traffic. Senator Stevens wanted ISPs to be able to charge sites like Google for bandwidth usage in order to prevent data from being jammed into pipes. Google became a vocal supporter of net neutrality until it launched Google Fiber, its own ISP. Users who attempted to put up servers in their houses would be in violation of the company's terms of service, which were based on the industry standard it used to oppose. Number 3. Their organization is not what it seems. Although you'd never guess it based on his firm's actual operations, Google has proclaimed to believe in the notion as well as it appears that Brin and Page's companies practice what they preached from the start. Executives Eric Schmidt and Jonathan Rosenberg describes Google as a flat organization made up of specialized teams in their book How Google Works. Larry Page and Sergey Brin wanted to get rid of management in 2002, and they did so for a few months. Page, on the other hand, had had enough of their inquiries and the turmoil. Because there were no middle managers at Google, employees turned to him whenever they had a problem with anything. It became too much, so the executives secretly reinstated hierarchy while keeping the flat organization branding, a long-standing emblem of the company's one-time dedication to doing things differently. Except that, as the corporation diversifies its investments and acquires more of its rivals, the organizational flatness on which it prides itself is quickly vanishing. Number 2. Their full impact is impossible to consider. There are parts of Google that are both good and bad because the firm is simply too large and sophisticated to understand. We haven't evolved enough to deal with something as huge as Google. When confronted with unusually enormous volumes, our sense of scale unravels and our estimates become outrageously wrong. Government control cannot keep Google in check at its current size. For industry authorities, its integral complexity is a logistical headache. We can count its assets, follow its cash flow, and catalog its projects, but understanding how it works and how far it may go is beyond our mortal knowledge. The officials we rely on to impose the necessary warnings, penalties, and fines to guarantee that Google and other firms that operate within the law lack the means to do so. And at number 1, even when they don't have to, they spy on us. In 2015, Nate Silver's website looked into Google's perfect memory in the context of an ongoing discussion about the right to be forgotten, the idea that search engines should let consumers opt out of query results. A petition with a lot of signatures was gaining traction at the time, and much to 538's astonishment, the majority of requests to have their internet histories erased after death came from ordinary people, not politicians or convicts. At its most intractable, the right to be forgotten poses logistical challenges for implementation as it underlines an unsettling truth about Google's unrivaled access. Those ever-increasing heaps of dirt it has on almost everyone is permanent. We've come to the end of our video. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and see you guys on the next video.